you know, put the brakes on that. You've got to, again, it's about steering the client away from that.
Well, it's really about a motivational interviewing technique. It's really about understanding what's underneath their motivation. I mean, on the surface, it's because they performed well last year, but is that really the case? And really asking a little bit more about what would it feel like if we moved in a different direction. You had said something about starting the conversation on a macro and then going to feelings. And when you go to feelings, which sometimes the tendency of advisors is, you know, I'm not really in the feeling business, what you're actually going to is the motivation of how does your client think and feel about this, and by knowing their motivations and knowing what their concerns are or why they really want to, you know, continue to charge forward, then you're really able to talk to them about if we could get the same result but do it in a different way. And you could still get what you want, are you willing to do that? Because that bridges the gap between what the advisor is recommending and what the client needs, which is they just want another good year, which makes sense.
So they want a particular result, but you give them different options.
Right, you start with where they're at, and then you start to understand, okay, so what is it that they're actually looking for? You know, what is it about that result? And once you find out a little bit more detailed by asking open-ended, active listening type questions, then you can start to play with the conversation around, well, you know, what if we did this and you got the same result? How would that feel for you? Or if we did this? And so what you're doing is you're engaging in this dialogue, giving the client some control over their portfolio and the decision-making process, and in that process you're getting buy-in. And that often is what motivates clients. Right. If we lecture them or tell them, think teenager, you tell them to take out the trash, what do? They absolutely do not take out the trash. So it's really getting them to buy into that process. And that is a longer-term conversation. It's a process, not an event. And advisors would do well to spend some time doing that with their clients because it builds trust, it solidifies the relationship, and ultimately they'll probably keep that client if they take time to do that.